Hello everyone, it's Sandra and welcome to today's video. I'm really excited about this one because today we're talking all about the new version of the Chantecaille Just Skin Tinted Moisturizer. This is one of the iconic products from Chantecaille. I first discovered the old Just Skin Tinted Moisturizer over a decade ago. It was the first tinted moisturizer that I found that worked for my combination oily skin, and this year they improved the formula. This is the new wave of Just Skin, and that is reflected in the addition of this wave in the packaging. They kept the really handy squeeze tube packaging. They added even more skincare benefits. It is now more hydrating. It also has a bit more blurring and pore smoothing quality to it. And initially I was a bit nervous because sometimes reformulations can go south. And when it's a product that I've loved and used for so long from a brand that I really love, the expectations are really high, but I'm very happy to report that this new formula of Just Skin Tinted Moisturizer truly feels like an improvement on the already amazing old formula. It still contains SPF 15. The SPF in this is now a mineral SPF, and it performs better than the old one. It's actually more long wearing, more hydrating, still feels and looks like skin, beautiful light coverage that is buildable. Thank you so much to Chantecaille for sponsoring this video. And if you want to see me put this look together, just keep on watching. All right, so I have my skincare on, my sunscreen, and one of my favorite hacks to really brighten the under eyes and get it really nice and hydrated is actually to use the Sheer Glow Rose Face Tint. This is a really beautiful lightweight moisturizer texture, is great all over the face. I have combination oily skin, so when I use this, I tend to apply this just on the areas where my skin is a bit more dehydrated, so usually my cheeks and under the eyes. The slight rose tint and their light reflecting particles in this product make for such a beautiful, brightening, hydrating, priming effect under the eyes. So if my under eyes are looking extra luminous and juicy, that's why. Now let's get into the star of the show, Chantecaille Just Skin Tinted Moisturizer. I have this in the shade Vanilla, which is what I was in the old formula, and it's also the shade that I use in the Future Skin foundation. So let me just show you a quick comparison of the colors. So this is the shade Vanilla in the Future Skin foundation, and this is the shade Vanilla in the Just Skin Tinted Moisturizer. You can see that this has a bit more warmth to it, which is really nice for summer. I just got back from Mexico, so I do have a little bit of a glow, a little bit of extra warmth in my skin. I take a small amount. You don't need a lot. And I'm just dotting it all over my face. And then you can use a brush or fingers. I always prefer to use my fingers with these lighter weight complexion products. I just find that my fingers, the warmth of my fingers tend to melt the product into the skin and really give me a super, super natural, undetectable finish to the skin. The texture is so beautiful. It's silky, it's not greasy, and I can feel the extra hydration. It definitely feels more hydrating than the old formula, but it's a lightweight hydration, which is one of my favorite things about Chantecaille products. They pack hydration, but they never feel overwhelming to my skin. And I just find them to be really universal. I have friends with dry skin that really love their products. I have combination oily skin, and the products work really, really well on my skin as well. And it's a tricky thing. It's a tricky balance to hit. And it just melts into the skin. It has a super, super natural finish. You can see it just evened out my complexion, but it still looks like my skin. It doesn't look like I'm wearing any makeup. Obviously, I have a little breakout going on. Sometimes as a blemish heals, it can get a bit dry, and some complexion products tend to emphasize that dryness, and the Chantecaille Just Skin does not do that. It sets, it has a beautiful skin-like finish. It's not greasy at all. It's not heavy, it's not tacky, and it wears so beautifully throughout the day. It's got a nice smoothing effect to it too. To me, this is a light coverage product. You can build it up slightly. I'm going to show you just on my chin here where I have some extra discoloration. Blending it with a brush, this is the Chantecaille Sculpt brush, adds a bit more coverage. But it still stays super, super natural. It blends so easily. And boom, got a little bit of extra coverage. Let's try building it on my blemishes to see the difference there. That's actually really nice. It just takes the edge off. Camouflages that redness just a tiny bit. And then, honestly, depending on my mood, I can go about my day just with this amount of coverage without needing extra concealing. I'm really happy with this. I just added my under eye concealer, and I was going to do more heavy duty pinpoint concealing on my blemishes, but I actually really like the way that I was able to build up the coverage with the Tinted Moisturizer, so I think I'm just going to leave it at that. Now I'm going to set with the Perfect Blur setting powder in shade light medium, and this powder is fantastic. It gives me, as the name suggests, a little bit of extra blurring, and the combination of this powder with the Tinted Moisturizer on my combination oily skin is just a match made in heaven. If you have drier skin or normal skin, you honestly don't even need to set this with powder. It does set itself without being drying or heavy. It sets, but you still get that hydration throughout the day. Or you can just set your T-zone. I'm a powder girl, so I like to set my face with powder, especially in the summer, but my skin just looks really beautiful and natural. I'm going to just add a tiny little bit of bronzer. This is one of my favorite blushes that I own, and I've been talking about it nonstop for the last 1.5 to 2 years. This was also in my favorites video from last year. The Cheek Shade blush in the shade Joy. It is the perfect pink. It's bright, but not too bright. It's not, I don't know, it's not too cool toned, it's not too warm. It just brightens the skin in such a beautiful way. I love wearing this year round. It looks great in the fall. Looks great in the winter. When you first buy it, it has this really gorgeous horse embossing on it, and the horse embossing has a soft sheen to it, but the blush itself does not have a sheen to it. The blush itself is just a really beautiful satin finish. I don't remember exactly how many uses it took for the overspray to fade away, but it didn't take too long, and I really, really love this finish. I find that it just adds such a pretty hint of color to the complexion, and I take it across the bridge of my nose a little bit too. That's the complexion done. When it comes to eyes, this is a holy grail combination for me, and I've talked your ear off over the Chantecaille Mermaid Eye Matte in the color Sylvie for years. This is my favorite one and done eyeshadow. It is the perfect brown, and despite the name, it's not a very dull matte finish. It does have a very, very soft sheen running through it, just enough light reflection so that it blurs and it makes the eyes look really, really soft and natural. I play around with the application of it. Sometimes I start applying it right on my eyelid if I want a more intense brown, but lately I've been into just applying it on the crease first. So I'm just using it to carve out my crease and applying a tiny, tiny bit of it on my lower lash line as well, just to make the colors more cohesive. I take the Mermaid Eye Color in the shade Copper, which is just the most stunning, light reflecting, neutral, metallic shade. I like to take my ring finger and I only apply this very gently, tapping it just on the center of my eyelids to amp up the light reflection. I want a really light layer because this is just a daytime look. So for daytime, I don't want to overdo it with the metallic eyeshadow. I would definitely amp this up for evening and do a more intense application all over. But for the day, I just want a very, very subtle, seamless gleam of light, just so when the sun kind of reflects off of it, you just get that hint of brightness. And my favorite thing about these eyeshadows is just how flattering and smoothing they are. I added just a tiny little bit of brown mascara. I really haven't been into big lashes lately. I've been either wearing no mascara or just did a really, really light layer of something brown. And yeah, I've really been embracing the more minimal eyelash. I find that it just looks really nice and fresh, and it makes removing my makeup in the evening much easier. I am loving the way that this looks, which is no surprise because this is the look that I've been wearing for the last week and a half, and it's just been on heavy rotation and I love it. It's so easy. In the morning, I put it on, I go to work, I go about my day. This is such a good lip combo. I'm starting out with the lip definer in the shade Tone. This has the perfect balance of rose and brown tones. And then for the lipstick, this is the Lip Chic in the shade Patience, one of my all-time favorite lipstick formulas and colors. If you like nude pink lipsticks, this is the nude pink lipstick. It is absolutely perfect. Feels amazing. The color is just spot on. And this is the final look. This is the look that's been on repeat every single day for the last week and a half. It's just so good. Can't stop, won't stop. Absolutely love it. Wears amazingly all day. Looks like my skin. You can still see some of my imperfections shining through, but it's just enough to make me feel really comfortable in my own skin and more confident and more beautiful. And these types of tones are just my jam, especially as we are going into summer. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Thank you so much to Chantecaille for sponsoring this video. It is always such a thrill and such a dream come true to collaborate with my favorite beauty brands. And it's all thanks to you. So grateful to you, my audience, for watching me and supporting me and for making this possible. I highly, highly recommend checking out the new Chantecaille Just Skin Tinted Moisturizer so you get to feel just how beautiful and comfortable this new iteration of their cult favorite tinted moisturizer really is. Let me know if you've tried this already or if you're planning on trying it. I hope you're having a really beautiful day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.